Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
One final round to make it into the iRacing Rallycross World Championship, and it comes here to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We welcome you to live coverage of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship qualifying series presented by Yokohama Tires, live on Apex Racing TV. Happy that you can join us for the final round of the season. I'm your host, Joshua Lee. Alongside me in the commentary booth is my colleague, Dane Baird, with Mark Tranter down in the virtual production trailer. And Dane, all of the action from the first 6 weeks leads in to the 7th and final round here tonight. Kevin Ellis Jr. up at the top of the standings. He's still continuing to lead the way. Tuominen, Delolmo, Bergeron, Toskinen, Hakaletto, Albert, Salas, Leskinen, and Nunez all pretty much are safe when it comes to the points. Everybody down from there still has an opportunity to fall below the now changed cut line.
Yeah, absolutely. So we originally were told that it was going to be the top 18 drivers that would make it through into the World Championship Series, of course, if they were eligible. And we've since been told, earlier this morning actually, by Chris Leone, that it's actually now the top 21 drivers. So it seems that 3 drivers from those top 10 from last season that got their automatic entries into this season have declined their entry, and that means that it is the top 21 drivers that will be making it through. So that gives a little bit of relief to some of the drivers in this top split who might have been a little bit worried about where they are in the standings. Jakob Raffos, 19th place. He would have been out, but yeah, 21st. It means he has a little bit more breathing room, but he still has to get a good result here today at Charlotte.
Marcos Matamoros, Josh Klog, the other 2 that were gifted a spot inside of the top 21 when that cut line was changed. Kurt Crum, Jarrett Liebert, Lucas Cram, Adam Alderton, rounds out that top 25. You go back from there, fast guys, Connor Parise, Josh Edmondson, they sit 27th and 28th looking for more spots, and down from there it becomes a bit more challenging to get above that cut line. Edmondson and Parise still have a chance. They are pretty much within 100 points when it comes to that cut line of Josh Klog in 21st, but they still need a lot of good luck on their side, and they're going to need Klog, they're going to need Matamoros, Raffos, maybe even Sindra Silva, Matt Busa, the drivers that are slightly above that cut line, 17th and 18th for Busa and Silva, to have bad days when it comes to this final round in Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a lot of work to do. There are, I believe there might be a drop round. If there is, we don't know what those drop rounds are. So that could throw a bit of a spanner into the works potentially. But it looks like some of the drivers are very confident that they're in already. Bo Albert and Luis Nunez in the Altus camp, they've been posting on all of their socials. They think they are definitely through into the World Championship Series. So they are very happy about that, and I believe they're just here to make sure of that and just get some practice in, because as we spoke about at the end of last week's broadcast, Josh, Charlotte is a brand new circuit to Rallycross. We've only had one pro level event there, and I don't believe we saw either of the Altus guys at that all-star event, so it's definitely a new track for a lot of the drivers.
We are now ready to get started. The final round of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship qualifying series presented by Yokohama Tires gets started with heat number 1. Killian Delolmo gonna start on the pole. Otto Toskinen to his outside. It's Bo Albert, Vicente Salas sharing that second row, with Jacob Raffos rounding out the top 5, and the 5 drivers who will go racing here in heat number 1. The other 5 will go racing in heat 2. As always, here in the qualifying series, the top 2 in each heat will advance automatically to the feature race. Then back from there, the other 6 remaining cars will go racing in the Consolation. All 6 will advance to the feature. They will be determining their starting spots for that main event, and then we'll go racing with a 10-car feature race. So Dane, final round, and you have raced this track in the iRacing Rallycross All-Star Invitational. What are the challenges these drivers will be facing as they hit the green light?
Turn 1. It's not actually the circuit's turn 1, but it's the first corner the drivers will be facing. It is very challenging, especially when you're in a large grid that the 10 drivers will be seeing in the feature. It's going to be a very challenging corner for the drivers to navigate. In my race in the Consolation, where I finished second, there was a massive wreck at turn 1. Someone got on the grass just on the inside and slammed into the leader, who was John Robertson at the time. into turn 1, took out 3 or 4 cars there. I just about managed to sneak through on that occasion. But yeah, turn 1 is a massive challenge. It really tightens up as they come across the timing beam to start the race.
Here we go. Lights come up for the final time. We are going green in heat number 1. It's from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. They race down into turn number 1. A great start for Vicente Salas. He's going to look for that early lead, but DeLomo's going to go in. He'll take it. Cars sideways, bumping into each other. Going off course into the wall goes Jacob Rafas. He gets a shot from Salas. It's DeLomo leading. Toscan in second. Vicente Salas in third. Bo Albert fourth. Rafas now with damage. Going to have to fight from fifth. They all go over the jump for the first time, and looking for third spot is Bo Albert. He sends it in deep, not able to get the spot on Salas.
This is one of the trickiest corners on the circuit coming up now. It's a blind crest into the braking zone of this dirt left-hander. Very long and sweeping. This whole dirt section, incredibly difficult. You'll see the drivers bouncing off the walls. If they get just an inch offline, they'll be trying to use that tarmac strip you can see on the right-hand side up against the wall. As Albert sends it up the inside, it's a very tempting move to make, but it very seldom works out.
No takers on the Joker first lap, and we go on to lap number 2. They'll almost sets the fastest lap. Toskinen in second. Salas, Albert, Rafas, the exact same positions as they were when they exited turn number 1 for the first time. Racing back to the dirt section. You're on board with Bo Albert now. He goes into the sweeping left-hander. Dane, you talked about it. One of the trickiest corners on this circuit. And it looks like having a bit of trouble passing as Albert gets flies a little bit too close to the sun on that inside line. Taps the wall. That's not going to help him in the department of speed. And still nobody taking to the Joker. Similar to what we saw at Daytona earlier this season.
Yeah, it might be because the Joker exit is a little bit awkward, really, for drivers coming out of the Joker when they come out into turn 1. It is a little bit awkward. There might be some slight glitches with the timing tower over the course of the event, because if you get a bit too close to a couple of the walls, for some reason iRacing suddenly thinks you're in the pit lane. Bit of a weird bug at this circuit. It makes it a little bit more difficult to judge Joker strategies when you're in the car, because suddenly you'll see a driver, oh no, they're out of the race in the pit lane, even though they're actually not. Albert, this is the closest he's been to Salas as they go through the dirt section. He takes the Joker. He's the first one to do it, I believe. In fact, Rafos might have, no, he didn't. And we'll see where he comes out. You're going to lose around about 2.7 seconds, I believe, when you take the Joker. So it's a very interesting Joker delta here, and it should make for some good strategies.
And that's a bit unique. Normally we talk about North American rallycross circuits, and of course the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway located in Concord, North Carolina. We usually see a shortcut Joker on these North American tracks. So with it being a longer Joker, you're losing time as opposed to gaining time. That's going to affect the strategy. It's going to be a lot like Hell-Lancabana. It's going to be a lot like Barcelona, which we'll see in the World Championship Series. DeLamo going to take the white flag here. He's going to need to take the Joker this time by, as Salas will dive in from third.
And it is a real driver's Joker as well. It's very tricky and technical, the walls on either side, and they're going to come out side by side. Salas on the outside might just have the preferred line and carry more speed of Albert. No, Albert sends it up the inside. He's got the move done before they hit the jump.
Closes the door right as they go over the jump. Salas going to be run on the back bumper. Two Subarus going to fight it out. Logitech G-Alta Esports for Selly at Saber Esports. Salas with a send to the bottom. A little bit of a tap of the handbrake. Albert goes wide, slams into the wall. Down the inside goes Salas. Going to quickly turn to outside as they make the right-hander through the dirt. Albert with an advantage. He's going to get in front of Salas. Salas is going to have to settle for fourth. DeLamo, Toskinen, they dive into the Joker on the final lap. And Killian DeLamo is going to walk away with the final Heat 1 victory of the season here in Charlotte.
That was fantastic defense from Albert. He took the outside line through the left, but it gave him the crucial inside for the right-hander. It is almost impossible to hold it around the outside of that right-hand hairpin in the middle of the circuit, because it's off camber ever so slightly. So you just slide off onto the grass on the outside if you carry too much speed, and it's very difficult to make something work around the outside. So fantastic defense there from Albert.
DeLamo, Toskinen, the two drivers that'll advance to the feature race off of heat number 1. Albert, Salas, Rafas will have to fight out of the Consolation to see where they will start. in the feature. It's Luis Nunez on the pole for heat number 2. Some great speed out of that Logitech GLTC Sports Subaru. He'll start to the inside of Tani Latimaki. Marcus Matamoros with Josh Edmondson and Connor Parise rounding out the top 5 here in heat number 2, and we are already ready to get started. The lights come up and they will quickly go green. You can see the 2 Jim Beaver Esports cars on that second row. A bad start for Nunez on the bottom. He comes up into the 2 Jim Beaver cars, and around they go out into the lead. Grabbing it early is going to be Latimaki. Matamoros in second. Parise is going to get away, but Nunez contact with Edmondson off the start. They're both sitting 4th and 5th as they race through now. Latimaki still leads. Parise, the only Jim Beaver car left up here in the top 3.
And this is interesting now. Those 2 of Nunez and Edmondson miles behind relatively. Latimaki and Matamoros, 2 drivers you wouldn't normally expect to see leading their heat race. So this could be an interesting battle to see who can make it up into the feature. They could get some very nice grid spots if they can keep this up. Nunez and Edmondson, I think they're just too far back to make anything happen there. So we have got Latimaki leading. And Matamoros in second, who's going to take to the Joker on the first time and gets followed by Parise as well.
Parise in, Matamoros in, Latimaki going to be caught out to dry. He will need to Joker next time by presumably Dane to really respond to this, because now Matamoros and Parise with those Joker lanes done. It's a longer Joker here at Charlotte, so that means that they're going to have time to catch up to Latimaki on the track. But it looks like they might be just outside of that Joker lane delta. We'll have to see how the 10 car responds here.
Yeah, but it's actually also very much can work in the opposite way. Garrett Maines and I were having a bit of a battle in the All-Star race. He took to the Joker, and I then suddenly had some clear air and could move out, and I actually ended up overtaking him with the Joker delta. That means that Latimaki could do a very similar thing. He has the clear air now. He could use it to his advantage and stay out in front. And we'll see what happens there. Latimaki says he's gone into the pits. He actually hasn't. You can see him on the camera. We're just going over the jump as we speak. He hasn't taken to the Joker, and that gap is extending ever so slightly. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he'll be coming down to take that Joker anytime soon. Oh, he's just hit the wall there, actually. That's going to slow him down. Maybe he might. That might have shaken him a little bit.
The gap is 3.3 seconds as they work through the dirt. Let's see what the Black Star Racing Subaru is going to do. He's not going to Joker yet, so he's going to save it for one of these last 2 laps. We'll go on to lap number 4, 2 to go here in heat number 1. Nunez jokered from 4th. Edmondson now still gets to Joker, along with your race leader, Tani Latimaki. There's the Logitech GLTC Sports Subaru of Luis Nunez. You can see Edmondson a little bit further behind his Jim Beaver Esports Subaru. Just an unfortunate incident at the start between these 2 drivers, and they were 3 wide. Nunez with a bad start. Contact was made. We'll maybe be able to grab a replay at the end of this heat, but if not, then we'll just keep looking forward onto the Consolation. But Dane, it was just tough contact and really hard to decide exactly what happened there, and just an unfortunate incident led 2 of the drivers who, one's on the outside looking in, one's just trying to hold on, presumably locked in, but anything can happen as the white flag comes out. Here comes Edmondson into the Joker.
I think we might just be getting a replay of exactly what happened there. So as we go green for the start of this race, riding on board with Edmondson. And yeah, it's just a really poor getaway for Nunez. And I don't think Edmondson was expecting Nunez to get such a bad start. He sort of held his line. I don't think Nunez was expecting someone up his inside. They all sort of merged together, and it ended up with Nunez getting sent across the face of the 2 Jim Beaver Esports cars. Yeah, that's really not great for the start of the race. Latimaki's going to take the Joker, and I think he's got this one in the bag. 4 seconds was the lead. He's going to lose 2.6, 2.7. He's lost 2.6. He comes out 1.5 seconds in front, and he takes the win in P2.
Heat number 2 win goes to Tani Latimaki. What a run for Black Star Racing here as of late in the qualifying series. Edmondson will come home in 5th. In between them, it's Matamoros, it's Parise, it's Nunez. So going into the Consolation will be Parise, Nunez, and Edmondson off of that 2nd heat of the day. But making their way into the feature race automatically, Latimaki and Matamoros. Ready to go racing now in the Consolation. Everybody will make it into the feature off of this race. It'll just depend on where they will start, down from 5th to 10th. Bo Albert, Connor Parisi on the front row. Vicente Salas, Luis Nunez, Jacob Rafas, and Josh Edmondson back from there. So ready to get started in the Consolation. We'll see where everybody is going to get a start here. And you can see on that grid, 2 Logitech G Altus Esports cars, 2 Jim Beaver Esports cars, 1 for Elliott Sadler Esports, and 1 for Set Esports. As we go green, they race into turn number 1. Nunez with a considerably better start. He'll go up the inside of Parisi into 1, and he slides in. He's going to be able to slide himself into second. Contact made. Rafas makes contact with Edmondson. Rafas goes around. A bad day for the Scandinavian. Turns even worse, and as they race through the dirt section for the first time, Salas up the inside of Parisi. He wants that 3rd spot. He's going to take it. Parisi has to get out of the gas to avoid the tire barrier.
Now we'll see what the drivers can do. Nunez 7/10 behind his teammate of Albert, and Edmondson also just behind his teammate of Parisi as well, getting a little bit of wall there through the turn number 4. You see them all slowing up, trying to grab that little grip strip. And we'll see who takes the Joker on the first time by. It doesn't look like anyone has taken the Joker on the first time, but poor Jacob Rafos, he has had an absolutely terrible start to the event. First of all, getting taken out before he even reaches lap number 1 in the heat, and then almost an identical incident here in the Consolation.
Another wild start here in the Consolation. Contact made, and just a poor day for Rafas. I mean, he is on the bubble in 19. He has a good, I'd give it 40 points above Kurt Crum, who currently sits in 22nd. So trying just to save himself above that cut line. And Dane, it becomes stressful because now Heat 1, he can chalk it up at the last place. Consolation, he's going to chalk this one up at the last place. Points are only given in the feature, so he needs to have a good feature race, but 2 bad finishes in 2 of the competitions here tonight is going to affect that confidence a little bit.
Yep, and he needs points to get himself into that World Championship. He's right near to the cut line, is Rafos, so it's not the best start to the event. He's really got to try and work a little bit. He's got Edmondson just in front of him by about a second. He could probably catch that up with 3 laps remaining, but Edmondson has the Joker advantage, and I don't think he's quite quick enough to catch all that up. As I say that, looks like Parisi and Salas have gone down into the Joker on lap 3 as the 2 Altus Esports cars make their way into lap 4.
So the 4th lap now taken. 2 laps to go here in the Consolation. Remember, in the feature it'll be 10 laps as Parisi gets a little bit too close to that inside. Here comes his teammate Josh Edmondson to fight for 4th. Salas continuing to work from 3rd. A bit of front end damage for him. It looks like he might have flown a little bit too close to the sun. Hit one of those inside walls as well. Big send into the corner for Edmondson, sliding that Subaru around. Still looking to the inside of his teammate, Connor Parisi up in front of him. Bo Albert leading the way. It's double Logitech G Altus Esports cars at the front as Luis Nunez is up there as well. Nunez Joker lapped that time, so the white flag comes out. Bo Albert still needs to take to the Joker. It is going to be a close one. If Albert can gain a little bit more time on Nunez, he might be able to be safe for that win, but we could see a last lap pass made here in the Consolation for Luis Nunez. If Albert loses the lead here in the Joker lane on the final lap. Out of the dirt section he goes. Has to take to the Joker this time. He'll send it in. Where is he going to exit? Is it going to be enough? There's Nunez on the left side. It's not going to be enough, and by 7/10 of a second, almost 6/10 of a second, it's Bo Albert taking the Consolation race win. Nunez in second, Salas, Parisi, Edmondson, Rafas rounding out the 6 drivers here in the Consolation. Rafas finishes up his Joker lap and his Consolation race, and we get set for the final feature race of the season in the iRacing Rallycross World Championship qualifying series presented by Yokohama. Bo Albert with the win in the Consolation. Luis Nunez in second. Vicente Salas, Connor Parisi, Josh Edmondson, Jacob Raffas. The 6 drivers, they'll start 5th through 10th here in the feature race. Delolmo, Lademaki, your 2 heat winners. They're on the front row along with Toskanen and Marcos Matamoros, your 2 runner-ups from each of the heats. Dane, the final one of the season. I think the energy is about to reach a crescendo. We could see the most exciting feature race of the season. We've already seen some exciting heat racing and some exciting Consolation.
Absolutely, and like I said at the start of the broadcast, turn 1 is going to be manic with all those 10 drivers going through there. I'd just like to point out, Nunez did absolutely all he could in that Consolation to get ahead of his teammate there, setting the fastest lap of the race on the final lap, as we are ready to go green for the final time.
Here we go. The lights come up, and for one more time in 2021, let's go racing! Feature time from Charlotte. They race into turn number 1. 2 Black Star Racing drivers on the outside. Inside it's Set Esports as they race into 1. Delamo takes the lead, squeezes Matamoros out, up the middle. Logitech Geo, the Esports, Bo Albert. Albert slams into Larimaki. They all slam into each other as they go into their section. Salas makes contact with Albert, pushes him up the track. Rackles with trouble on the outside line. Everybody goes into the jump, still trying to fight to keep the car straight as Albert. He'll fall to 7th. Contact with Parisi. Parisi's gonna spin through the corner and around to Toskanen. He's gonna fall all the way to 10th as they just finished lap 1.
What did I say? Absolute chaos in the 2 Black Star Racing drivers have just been shuffled right to the back of the grid. Toskanen now down in last place. Raffles with issues once again on the first lap of a race, or at least he made it to the first lap before having issues. Parisi wants absolutely none of that, neither does Raffles. They're both going to the Joker for the first time.
So they both Joker up front. Matamoros in second as a mirror full of Luis Nunez. And you can see him trying to fight for that second spot. Salas trying to fight to keep Lademaki behind. That's the top 5. Nunez with trouble. He is off of the tabletop. He goes spinning into the corner. And Nunez falls all the way to 10th. Disaster for the Logitech Geo, the Esports driver. But up the inside of Salas. Lademaki goes for the spot. Salas trying to get it back. They make contact into the right-hander. They'll stay side by side. Is anybody going to give way? Lademaki chokers. He'll give the spot to Salas. Get P3 in the number 8 car.
And that is awful for Nunez. It is the biggest fear when racing here at Charlotte. It's so easy to do. If you just run an inch too wide from the preferred racing line, you're going off the side of the jump, and that's absolutely terrible for him. He's been shuffled basically down to last place, and that is absolutely terrible for the number 5 Altus driver. And there goes Parisi up the inside of Toskanen.
Contact made. He pushes Toskanen out of the way, and pushing Toskanen out of the way again. Jacob Raffas trying to get another spot. He'll go up into P7. He slams into Parisi, who slams him right past Lademaki. Put Parisi up to 5th. Not for long. Raffas gets by all 3. Top 5 for Jacob Raffas as he continues to race through. He's already taken his Joker lane as well. What a rebound for Set Esports Jacob Raffas, but Toskanen goes back to the inside of Parisi. Sends him up the racetrack. Both Black Star Racing drivers going for the spot. Hitting the wall on the inside goes Toskanen. Lademaki goes by. Parisi gonna fall to 8th. Contact made again. Parisi gets sent off the track.
Parisi got sent into the inside wall. He'll have damage from that. And there goes Edmondson. What's happened there? He's been sent right into the wall on the outside of turn number 4. I've got no idea what could possibly have caused that, but Parisi will have troubles with the front right. You can see there he is. The car is absolutely terrible in the front end of that thing. He's just slammed into the corner of the wall through turn 3. Toskanen's in an absolutely terrible position though. He's trying to fight all of these drivers, but he's the only one who hasn't taken the Joker. So he's still got 2.5 seconds behind them that he's going to lose at some point. Meanwhile, this man, Kylian Delolmo, we've not really seen much of him at all. That's just because he's out in front by over 3 seconds.
A consistent race from Kylian Delolmo, and what we've seen from about 4th on back, that is good for Kylian Delolmo. He's looking for his 2nd feature race win of the season. This man right here, Marcos Matamoros, comes in only in 20th place. Remember, that cut line changed to 21st, so he is in at the moment. Just needs a really good finish here in this feature race. He currently has 1 feature race win this season, 3 top 5 5s as well to boot, with an average feature race finish of 4th. Matamoros looking for a good second place finish here. Vicente Salas looking to make it 2 world championships for Elliott Sadler Esports. Of course, Vicente runs in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series under Space Station Gaming, looking to get Elliott Sadler Esports back into the World Championship Series. A mistake for Matamoros. Door open for Vicente Salas and put him up into the runner-up spot now as they work their way through the final corner.
That was a fantastic move there. Matamoros just got slightly offline, and then you're on the off-camber dirt. You haven't got the grip strip on the inside, and that just allowed Salas to slide it up the inside. Awesome move there from Vicente, and he fully deserves that second spot. He had the fastest lap of the race the lap before. He's absolutely flying out there.
Logitech GLTC Sports Bo Albert had a bit of issues on the start, able to rebound from those, now running up here in 4th. And he's right on that back bumper of Marcos Matamoros. Is he going to go for the spot? You mentioned it, Dane, just a little bit of a mistake. Opened up that door for Matamoros, and that was able to lead Vicente Salas by contact into the corner, and Albert's going to take the spot. Matamoros got sent up out of the groove, put Marcos Matamoros back to 4th, and Bo Albert up into the podium spots in 3rd. What wild racing we have here in the final round of the qualifying series. 3 to go on the track. Delamo leads by 5.5 seconds, but Matamoros trying to get by Albert. Rafa's trying to reel them all in to get an improvement off of 5th place, which is already an improvement, Dane, from where he was in his heat race at the Consolation.
Yep, absolutely. But one thing to take into consideration, Joker Delta's 2.6 to 2.7 seconds. And if my calculations are correct, Albert and Matamoros are both within that range, well, at least they were just a moment ago. So Rafos could well end up in 3rd place when everybody else takes their Joker as we move our way on to lap number 9. So he's got to put some good laps in here, and he might just end up on the podium.
2 laps to go, 2 final laps to settle it. Salas only good by about 2 seconds to Bo Albert. Now, Dane, I'm assuming if Salas jokers this time by, Albert's going to try and stay out, and pretty much vice versa. If Salas doesn't go in, Albert's going to go in to try and play a little bit of joker lap strategy. Let's see what happens here. So nothing for Salas. Salas going to stay on the racetrack. Is Albert going to stay out as well? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He is going to stay on the racetrack. So is Matamoros. So he's not going to take advantage of that Joker Lane Delta. He'll stay out on the racetrack, ultimately settling for a 3rd place. Toskinen going to go right into the Joker Lane. He'll finish his. Parisi going to be able to get by for 7th. Black Star Racing's Otto Toskinen now in the 7 machine, down into P8. Salas, Albert, Matamoros still need to joker 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. But coming around the final dirt corner, back onto the asphalt for the final time here this season in the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Qualifying Series presented by Yokohama. Your final feature race winner is Killian Delomo. Set Esports is going to take the final feature race win of the season. Salas jokers, he takes 2nd. Albert jokers, he'll take 3rd. And trying to get 4th, not going to be enough. Matamoros is going to take the spot with Rafa settling for P5. Laudermaki comes by for 6th. Parisi 7th. Toskinen 8th. Nunez and Edmondson are going to come home 9th and 10th. And what a wild final feature race of the season, Dan. I don't think we were expecting anything less.
No, absolutely. That was pretty good racing throughout, really. We had a couple of incidents. I think Albert definitely helped out with this pass by Matamoros by some good old Aussie netcode. But yeah, some really good racing there. Nunez pretty clearly not very happy with his outing in the feature race, and he slams into the barriers to finish 9th on the feature race there. But yeah, overall some pretty good racing. It's unfortunate for some of the drivers. Taskinen, he just got shoved right to the back of the field from the start and never really stood a chance.
What a win for Killian Delomo. He came in 3rd in the points, a consistent year for that Set Esports machine. And what a win he was able to take here tonight. Salas, Albert, Matamoros, Rafas, the top 5. A good finish for Rafas here in the feature. He needed that. Came in 19th. Matamoros came in 20th. He needed a good finish as well. We'll see how Josh Klog, Sindra Silva, Kurt Crum, Jarrett Lieber, and all of them on that bubble line fared in their splits to see where the points are going to sit. Down from there, Latimaki, Parisi, Toskinen, Nunez, and Edmondson rounding out the 10 drivers who went racing here in the top split. And Dane, will just really quickly recap this qualifying series season. One of the wildest we have seen. Of course, for the first time, a standalone series was used instead of just being the top drivers out of the normal iRacing Rallycross series. That is on the official side. So really interesting to see how each of these drivers fared in a standalone series, because it is a much different animal. Like we see in eNASCAR, we see it in the Porsche Esports Super Cup as well. The standalone series really provides that extra strategy that we haven't seen from Rallycross yet.
Yeah, and the single time slot made it certainly easier for us to keep track of, at least. Last season we had 5 time slots for the drivers. It also put them under a lot more pressure. In the first round, it was Wednesdays, it was a bit earlier, on a Wednesday evening, the first time slot for the qualifier series, or the effective qualifier series from last year. They had 5 time slots. If they messed up in one of them, they had 3 more attempts, because you get 4 points finishes, really, in the series. So it's yeah, very different animal for them to only have one opportunity. Very much like the World Championship series is going to be. Yeah, put them under a lot more pressure, especially coming into the final week. They knew that if they were on the cut line, they had to do well in this race, and they had no more opportunities.
And we're now going to take a replay of that race start, which was pretty hectic in the feature. And we'll take a look at it now. And a good start from a lot of those drivers on the grid. Here was that start. They all raced down into turn number 1, and it was 10 cars trying to fight for limited real estate. Take a look at the Delamo up the inside, close the door on Toskanen, and then, or Latamaki, excuse me, and everybody started colliding into each other from there, but it wasn't done, Dane. Once they went to the dirt, it got even more hectic.
Yeah, so you see Rafos going to the wall on the outside there, the dirt obscuring the vision, especially at Charlotte. I don't know exactly what it is, but for some reason the dirt at Charlotte is much more obscuring in the vision than the dirt that gets kicked up by the cars. I'm not too sure why that is, but at least for me it seems as though the dirt at Charlotte is just very thick. And yeah, it really does block the vision now. So at the start of races, especially in the dirt sections, you see stuff like that happening. I think that's Parisi getting past Nunez. He just gets shuffled right the way to the back of the field. It's a really chaotic start here at Charlotte. The problem is, starting on the outside of the grid is almost a death sentence, really, because you have the wall so close on the outside. You've got people going 3 wide, and it's a double left-hander. And that's what happened to Nunez. Yeah, exactly. He's just come off the jump sideways, and that is absolutely terrible. And then he gets a bit confused, obviously, because now he's facing the completely wrong way. Got to try and figure out where the track is again.
He's able to get back going straight. But man, what a wild crash for Luis Nunez there in that feature race. Looked like more issues for Edmondson. He did tow to the pits, finished 4 laps down. Into the dirt section, we'll see exactly what happened, if there was an incident for Edmondson. I believe he also... Okay, so you can see the damage on the cars. That was when he made contact with a handful of
yes, here it is.
Here in this replay. There's Parisi going off. And I believe that's Toskanen that just trying to gather the car up in the dirt section. So difficult to do with the lack of grip in the dirt, Dane. He just lost control of the cars, and Edmondson was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh no, and then he gets collected by Nunez. Like I said, there's a blind crest that Nunez would have had absolutely no idea that there was a car there. It's so tight to him there that even if he did know there was a car there, I don't think there's much he could do about it. So that explains why those 2 drivers effectively retired from the race. They were both right at the back of the field. I believe Edmondson actually did end up retiring from the race. But the initial contact between Edmondson and Toskanen, it looked like a little bit of netcode wizardry there, but it did send him off into the blue tire barriers. They have gaps between them. He's hit that with the rear of his car, and it sent him spiraling off out of control. And then with the walls on either side, Nunez could do absolutely nothing about that secondary contact.
We'll preview the World Championship here in just a moment, but standing by with Dane Baird, feature race winner here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, Killian Delalmo for SET Esports.
Yeah, Killian, welcome. And another feature win for yourself. That's guaranteed you into the World Championship Series. That must make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm very happy for the second victory. I have really good work with my team for this victory and for the all standing. So yes, I'm happy.
And yeah, preparations for the World Championship must start pretty soon now. It's in, I believe, 2 weeks' time, 2.5 weeks' time, that the series gets underway for the World Championship. It's going to be a hectic season, I think, for you guys. But first, let's talk about this event. Charlotte, it's one of the newest circuits in iRacing Rallycross. We saw it at the All-Star Invitational a few months back, but this is the first real test against all of the pros to see how the circuit raced. And what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. So we are really happy, and it's really good, yeah.
I guess you wouldn't know too much about the racing aspect of it because you're quite far out in front the entire race. Do you think that was pretty important for you? I know that there was a lot of carnage going on behind you, so I think being in front must have been pretty crucial for your race win today.
Yeah, it's really important for us with the team. So let's use the World Championships.
Absolutely. Well, Killian, congratulations on that second feature win. Thank you so much for joining us here for a chat, and we will see you for the World Championship Series in a few weeks' time.
Thank you a lot.
Well, it was great to hear from him there, Josh, and yeah, it was a fantastic domination, really, from Delorme out there. He was 3 seconds in front after a couple of laps, and he never looked back.
He got an amazing start, and that really proved crucial here at Charlotte more than anything else. If you could get out in front, get away from the drama, it was going to be crucial for a race win in the future. We'll look forward now to the iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama. All starts on September 22nd at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. The lawn configuration at Atlanta Motor Speedway for round 2 on September 29th. Again, the lawn configuration there as well. Then we go to the Iowa Speedway on October 6th. Brands Hatch on October 13th. A circuit that we did not see here in the qualifying series. Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, and the Rallycross configuration of that race course on October 20th. Hellan Cabanan on October 27th. Phoenix Raceway on November 3rd. Sonoma Raceway on November 10th with Charlotte Motor Speedway. Like it was here in the qualifying series, it's going to be the finale in the World Championship. So, Dane, just looking at that calendar, I think the main thing that jumps out to a lot of people, we don't have any repeat rounds. Every round is a unique configuration, a unique circuit. This is going to be a lot different than the World Championships of past.
Absolutely. We've managed to get a unique calendar, which is the first time ever in iRacing Rallycross. We've had 3 World Championships now. This is going to be the 4th World Championship series in Rallycross. And it's the first time we don't have a repeat. Usually Sonoma likes to repeat a couple times. But yeah, it's a fantastic calendar, I think. There's only a couple circuits that I personally don't like, and I think one circuit that no one in the Rallycross community likes for racing, which is Barcelona. We didn't see it in the qualifying series because there are known issues with the circuit. Hopefully we'll get those fixed. The dev team do have a couple of months to get some of the major issues fixed. But it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. We've only seen one event there in the All-Star races. I believe it was the first ever All-Star Invitational that Barcelona was featured on. So that's definitely going to be interesting. But Daytona long, starting the season off at Daytona as you always do, or where possible. Atlanta Motor Speedway long. These are circuits that have been here for many, many years in iRacing Rallycross. And yeah, it's great to see them back on the calendar. And what's really fantastic is it's a birthday present for me because the series starts on my birthday. So that's fantastic for me. I'm going to spend my birthday watching Rallycross.
Well, we do have unofficial updated points from iRacing. And once again, these are unofficial, waiting for any penalties, anything to be settled in the points. But unofficially, these will be the 21 drivers getting a World Championship seat here in 2021 for iRacing Rallycross. Killian Delorme, today's feature race winner from Charlotte, who we just spoke to. Kevin Ellis Jr. for Apex Racing Team, who's been absolutely dominant down in the lower splits. 5 feature race wins out of 7 starts. What a run for Kevin Ellis Jr. Rasmus Tuominen in 3rd. Alex Bergeron of World of Outlaws virtual fame. He's finished 4th in this qualifying series, and he has been grinding out these rallycross races in the official series, and great to see him having some success now in the qualifying series to make it into the World Championship. Continuing on with the unofficial World Championship, 21 drivers will be added to the former, I believe, 7 now that are coming back from the 2020 season. Otto Toskinen finishes in 5th. Bo Albert ends up in 6th. Vicente Salas, Jarno Leskinen in 8th. Thomas Wangen in 9th, with Tommy Nukarinen rounding out the top 10. Adu Hakaleto in 11th, Quentin Delalmo in 12th, Sindra Silva 13th, Luis Nunez comes home in 14th, Luke Kraus 15th, Marcos Matamoros able to jump a couple of spots up to 16th, Tani Latimaki drops down to 17th, still safe. Jacob Raffas able to make up a ton of positions, he came home 18th, Johannes Vahanen in 19th, with Louis Lehune in 20th. And your 21st and final driver making it in by just 20 points was Matt Busa. He is safe in 21st, barely making it out. Once again, by 20 points, it's Josh Klog. By 21 points, it's Jarrett Liebert. By 23 points, it's Kurt Crum. And by about 100 points, it is Lucas Cram. That is the top 25. As far as top split drivers that we have seen, Connor Parisi comes home in 26th, with Josh Edmondson coming home in 30th. So the Jim Beaver Esports operation going to head into 2022 looking for a bit more. And Dane, those 21 names we saw from the last World Championship, there was a lot of fast drivers that came from the qualifying series last year. Think we're going to see a lot of similar stuff. I mean, you talk about Killian Delalmo, Rasmus Tuominen, Otto Toskinen. They have been in the World Championship Series. Vicente Salas, been in the World Championship Series. Luke Kraus even has been there. But you talk about Jacob Raffas, new and upcoming. You talk about Luis Nunez, brand new face at Logitech G Altus Esports. You talk about Kevin Ellis Jr. putting in a ton of work at Apex Racing Team to make it into the Rallycross, as well as the Dallara IRO1 Championship. And then Sindra Silva coming back. You talk about Bo Albert putting in the work over the offseason. Alex Bergeron trying to get back into it after just getting a gifted spot after being so successful at Dirt Oval last season. He made a handful of starts. He now finishes 4th in the qualifying series. There's going to be some fast drivers giving Johan Harth, John Robertson, Yanni Alikainen a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. Last season, the qualifying series, I'm not sure what I think about this class of 2021, because it's 2020. The rookies from that series were absolutely fantastic. I was talking before the season started, the World Championship season that is, with Johnny Simon, and I told him this is the strongest group of rookies we've ever had. He told me he wasn't so sure, and then after about 3 rounds he told me, no, you're right, the rookies have been absolutely incredible. We had, after the first 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds were won by rookies. Not just people that had come back from the qualifying series, but complete rookies that had never been in the World Championship before. Looking at the rookies this season, we've got Kevin Ellis Jr. We call him a rookie. He's won races in the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup. He's no rookie when it comes to iRacing, and he's proving that by finishing 2nd in the qualifier series. Alex Bergeron, 2-3 times, correct me if I'm wrong, world champion in the Dirt Oval side of iRacing. So he's, again, not much of a rookie. But he's coming up for the first time from the qualifier series, although he did make those 2 guest starts in last season's World Championship. And then you've got a lot of other rookies that we've never seen in the World Championship series before. We've got Thomas Wangen, Tommy Nukarinen, Atu Hakaleto. I've seen a couple of these guys on track myself. They are superb. It's going to be a really interesting World Championship.
And going into the World Championship, of course, they're going to join the likes of Johan Harth, like we mentioned, John Robertson, Jake Robertson, Lloyd Lemon Seavu, Tommy Hallman, Yanni Alikainen. Who do you think is going to walk away with the championship here in 2021? Because it's a bit of a tough choice. You got to go with either the veterans or the rookies. And I think we could very well see a new world champion out of the rookie class here this season.
I think Apex Racing Team, with their 4 cars, Kevin Lewis Jr. adding to an already extremely strong lineup with the two Robertsons and reigning champion Johan Harth. They've got a very good shot. I think Johan is quite possibly the fastest driver in iRX at the moment. I think that he is absolutely superb. John Robertson, he's going to be hungry. He lost out on that World Championship in the final round. Just very bad luck. And yeah, I think he's going to be hungrier than ever for that World Championship title on his third time of asking. And he has the team around him to help him do that, because you cannot underestimate the power of having teammates by your side. It is so crucial in some of these World Championship battles, like we saw. I think Apex were the better team than Set in the last World Championship, and I think that's what have got Team Yokohama, as it was called in the World Championship, such a good run there, because yeah, Set are making a couple of mistakes between themselves, but now they've got Jakob Raffos in there with them, and the return of Killian Delorme. I think Apex Racing Team versus Set Esports is going to be the main fight. I still think that's going to be the case, but there are some really, really quick drivers outside of those that could give them a bit of a run for their money. I'm not too sure, but if I had to give it to one person, I'd probably say Johan Harth or John Robertson. I think they're just really, really good.
Well, you can catch the entire 9-round season of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship presented by Yokohama live on iRacing's social medias. Follow us on our social medias here on Apex Racing TV, at Apex Racing TV, wherever you can find us. And make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. Click that notification bell as well to get notified every time that we go live for another broadcast. For our entire team, this entire qualifying series season, for Mark Tranter, for Dane Baird, my name is Joshua Lee. Thank you so much for joining us for another season of the iRacing Rallycross World Championship qualifying series presented by Yokohama. And we're now looking forward to the iRacing Rallycross World Championship that begins on September 22nd. But for now, we are saying good night from virtual Charlotte.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala,
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke,
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong,
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
and many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.